This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so as part of today, we are going to discuss complete about the page architecture. Okay, so what is the page? What is the page architecture? So what is the extents? How many types of extents are available? Then we'll also discuss different types of pages available in SQL, and in time being, we'll also discuss the dirty page. So these are the key components as everyone need to learn in the backend what is happening. So like a dirty page, wall, write ahead logging, checkpoint, lazy writer, okay, eager writer, and we'll also discuss the asset properties. So first, let me discuss the page architecture. Okay, so yesterday we started the storage architecture. Like when we create a database, initially two files will be created. Okay, one is mdf.mdf and .ldf. Mdf stands for data file. Okay, or you can call it as a master data file, or you can call it as a primary data file. And ldf stands for log data file. So it will capture all the changes whatever we are performing, because we cannot directly go and modify in the master data file. Every changes that need to be moved from the log file, that need to move from the log file. So that is what yesterday we discussed. Today what we are going to do. Okay, sir, you were telling, okay, when we create a database, there are two files are creating. Now within that files, within that .mdf or .ldf, okay, how data is storing in SQL Server, in the which format data is storing. All the database management system will store in the form of tables, okay, like rows and columns. So whatever the data you are trying to insert, all the database management system will store in the form of rows and columns, in the form of rows and columns. Okay, sir, when we go to the SQL Server, how the data is storing in SQL Server? Okay, you are telling the master data file and the primary data file. Okay, I am agreeing. In that, how the data is residing means data is storing in the form of pages. Data is storing in the form of pages. See, within the page, your data will be residing. See, so where is, yes? So this is how your data is storing in the pages. Each page size is 8 kilobytes. Okay, each page size is 8 KB. You cannot increase the page size. This in SQL Server, data stores in the form of pages. Each page size is 8 KB. Okay, 8 KB. So we cannot increase that 8 KB, sir. It is a fixed. So because we are using the Microsoft product, we are not okay enhancing anything. Just whatever Microsoft is providing, that we are using. So the page size is fixed. That is 8 KB. We cannot increase. That is the one point everyone remember. Okay, so when you go for the page architecture, when you go for the page architecture, so page architecture contains the header session, footer session, and actual data rows. Okay, so header session, footer session, and actual data rows. So this is complete about your page architecture. See, so let me give you one more example. When you open the word document, let me open a word document. Okay, see, what is also developed by the Microsoft only, right? So it is also Microsoft product. When we double click, see, you will get the header session, you will get the footer session, right? Yes or no? Yes or no, online people? When you go to the word document also, you will get the header session, you will get the footer session, and you will get the body where you are loading, where you are entering your data, actual data in the body, right? Like same, when you go to the SQL also, your page architecture looks like same, like header session, footer session, and actual data rows. Okay, the header session will contain the complete information about the page. Okay, page id, object details, how much free space is available, okay, how many slots are available. All these metadata information will be residing on the page header. So the size of 96 bytes, not kilobytes, sir, it is 96 bytes. Within that 8 KB, 96 bytes will be allocated for the page header to store the complete information about your page. What is the page ID? Okay, page type. Uh, very important concept is slots. in slots. How many slots means a slot is nothing but record, sir. Okay, how many slots are available in that page? No worries. We will discuss in detail about the page architecture. I will in advanced performance tuning. We'll dig into the page and I will show you what data is available in the page header, how many, what is the slots, how much free space, everything we can dig in advanced performance tuning. We'll go into the page and we'll see what data, how the data is storing in the page, in a page. Okay, single page. Getting my point? All in
Yes,
people.
sir.
So
Yes.
every page will have 8 KB. So out of 8 KB, okay, 96 bytes will be allocated to the page header and 2 bytes is allocated to the page footer, and remaining rest of the data will be for the data rows. Means whatever the data you are trying to insert. So for example, one like Kiran 5,000. So this is how your data will be inserted. Two, okay, Raju 10,000. So this is how your data will store in the pages, okay, row by row. So we have one more method, column level storing the data in data pages. Okay, that we'll discuss. That is one of the interesting concept introduced on the 2012. So Microsoft introduced column store, where instead of storing entire row in a page, okay, so you can store a single column in a page as well when you are creating the column store index. That we'll discuss in advanced features level. So whatever we have advanced features which is introduced on each version, right, at that time I will explain you complete. So we have two types of, like a row level you can store the data in page, or even one column level also you can store in the page. But your page architecture will reside the same, sir. Right, 8 KB, 96 bytes for the page header, which will stores the complete information about your page. So what is page ID? Okay, page type, uh, uh, how many slots are available, object ID, okay, and how much free space is available, what is the next page, what is the previous page. All these details will be available in the page header. When we go to the page footer, okay, when we go to the page footer, row offset information is stored at the end of the page. So technically you can call it as a page footer, or you can call it as a row offset. Very simple, sir. Your data, so whatever you are performing the data, right, that data will enter into the footer. So whatever you are typing, you are inserting the data, or you are updating the data, you are deleting the data, right, so whatever you are performing, that will be, okay, enter into the page from the footer. Every data row have the row offset, and that size of row offset is 2 bytes. Just it will contain the information about the what is the rows, how many rows has inserted. Okay, what is the row offset? That row offset will contain the just history of your rows. Apart from nothing will be available, but we will focus on page header and we'll focus on the actual data rows when we are digging into the page level. Okay, so we have few commands where you wanted to see the page level inside, but it is not recommended, but it is not fully documented commands. As a best practice, we should not perform these activities, okay, orphanly. You can go and perform in case if required, you can perform, but that is undocumented commands. So dbcc ind, dbcc page, so these two commands we'll use if you wanted to see what, how the page looks internally. Okay, that we will discuss in the advanced performance tuning level. So clear, online people, what is the page, what is the page architecture, what is the size of the page? Online people, clear?
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
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 Okay, now one of the interesting concept is extend. Okay, so here most of the people will get confused. Okay, see, on top of the page we have the extend, sir, but the extend is also a collection of pages only. Don't get confused. Extent is collection of pages, okay, and extent is collection of 8 physical continuous pages. We'll call it as one extent, okay. So we'll call it as one extent. The extent size is 64 kilobytes. The extent size is 64 kilobytes because see, one page size is 8 KB, right, sir? If one page size is 8 KB, we are telling us 8 continuous consecutive continuous pages. We'll call it as a one extent means. So what is the 8 into 8? 64. So total your extent size will be 64 kilobytes. Okay. So an extent is a collection of 8 physical continuous pages. That size is approximately 64 kilobytes. Okay. So SQL Server have two types of extents. It will create, means when you are trying to create a table, so SQL Server will create either mixed extents or uniform extent. Okay. We can tell to SQL forcefully, hey, don't create mixed extent, please go and create uniform extent. That also we can explicitly dynamically tell to SQL Server. Okay. So let me discuss what is first uniform extent and mixed extents. So what is uniform extent? If 8 pages contain single object data, if that the 8 pages will contain a single object data, then we'll call it as a uniform extent. If 8 pages will contain a single object data, then we'll call it as a uniform extent. If 8 pages contains different object data, then we'll call it as a mixed extent. We'll call it as a mixed extent. Got you? What is extent? 8 continuous pages, we'll call it as extent. The size of extent is 64 kilobytes. We have two types of extent, mixed extents and uniform extent. Okay, if 8 pages contains the single object data, then we'll call it as a uniform extent. If 8 pages contains the different object data, then we'll call it as a mixed extent. Got you? Okay. Any questions, online people?
No.
Okay. Let me. Okay. See, application. Let me just try to remember this hierarchy. Okay. So application will connect to the OS. Yes or no? Your application will connect to the OS. In the OS, we have the SQL Server where install. Okay, that can be call it as a instance. Okay. Once you connect to the instance, you will connect to the database. Okay. So once you connect to the database, within the database, what is available, sir? Files. Yes, files only, right? So that can be .mdf, comma, okay, .ndf plus .ldf. Okay, 3 files. That can be .mdf, .ndf, .ldf. So within that files, there will be extents. In extents, there are pages. In pages, records. So this is the hierarchy. Let me, yes. Okay. So this is the hierarchy we'll follow. So application will connect to the operating system where our SQL is installed. Within that instance, there will be multiple databases. So that application will point to right database. In that database, we have multiple files, .mdf, .ndf, .ldf. Within that files, there will be extents. In extents, there is a pages, okay, where your actual data is residing. So this is the hierarchy, sir. Your data is residing somewhere in where means within the database, within MDF, within the extent, within the page, your data is residing. Got you? Finally, your data is residing in the page, sir. But on top of the page, we have the concept called extent, sir. Okay, extent is nothing but a collection of pages only. But don't get confused. That is what on top of the hierarchy. When you go for hierarchy level, okay, extent, page, and records. So got you hierarchy. So who is the primary contact for you, sir? In case if you wanted to work with anything means your application. Your application team is the primary contact for this server, SQL server. So we have n number of applications. So you are working for one project like a SBA or SSBC or Citibank, okay, or ExxonMobil. ExxonMobil is the oil and gas, I believe, topmost oil and gas in US. Yes or no, Murli? You know,
Yes, one of the top. Yep.
top. Okay. So ExxonMobil. Okay. So for every, see, not only banking, sir, but not only insurance. Okay, retail projects, okay, e-commerce projects, okay, oil and gases project, okay, insurance, okay, lot many depends on your project. Every project will maintain multiple applications. Each application will have dedicatedly servers. In that dedicated server will install either SQL or Oracle or something. If you are a code SQL DBA means when your application is designed, so they will come up with one environments, production environment, okay, developer environment, test environment, staging environment. So we have different environments, sir. Okay, production is the topmost. Like we need to be careful when you are working with the prod servers. Okay, because your application is pointing to the production servers. Okay, then development, test, staging, build, pre-prod, UAT. We have different environments when we go. Okay, so application team will come up with the environments with how many servers they want to deploy their applications. Okay, for one application there can be multiple production servers. Don't tell that one application will have only one production server, one development server. They can maintain multiple production servers, multiple development server, multiple test servers. But as a hierarchy, application will see, your application is also hosted on different OS, sir, different server. Okay, but when you are trying to open the application, it will access the your database management system. Where our database management system is available in that any operating system. That can be Windows, that can be Linux. Which flavor? That can be Windows operating system, that can be Linux operating system. Okay, so in the operating system we have the SQL Server. When see, as a DBA, if you just install the SQL Server, no use, sir. You need to create the databases. Once you create the database, then your application team will try to access the database and they try to insert the data or update the data, delete the data. They can play with that databases. So what is the hierarchy? Database, files, extents is the one of the topmost hierarchy when you go to the pages. Okay, that extents is also a collection of pages, sir. That is what I want to say to everyone. Okay, so within the page, your data is residing. So who is the primary contact for your DBS? Application team. Not only DBS, for everyone, who is the primary contact? Your application team is the primary contact. So if you wanted to change anything, okay, if you wanted to perform any operation over the servers, you need to get it approved from the application team. Don't blindly go and perform, okay? So that may impact, okay, lot. Don't shut down the servers, okay? So clear about the hierarchy?
Yes, but I have only one question. Like whenever we
Please.
want to run a select query, let's say, will it pull the data from pages or extents or the data file?
No, it will get the from the data file only. See,
Okay.
whatever the data you are available, that is a form of pages only, right? 8 pages we are just calling it as extent. Finally, your
Okay.
data is residing in the pages only. Next, when we are discussing just after 10 to 15 minutes, so I will draw you a complete picture how the data is transferring, how you are reading the data. So we'll
Okay.
discuss a lot. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Let me minimize it. Okay. So again, I will come up with the same. Okay. So we have a lot more thing to need to discuss. Okay. So before directly jump into that concept, everyone must and should know how many pages are available in SQL Server. Okay. So extents, there are two types of extents, sir. Okay, uniform extent and mixed extents. But when we go for pages, we have around 10 types of pages in available in SQL Server. Okay, so database, GAM, SGAM, PFS, DCM, BCM, IAM, boot page, text page, image page. Okay, clear? So total around 10 pages are available in SQL Server. So database, GAM, SGAM, PFS, okay, DCM, BCM, okay, IAM, and we have a text and image page, boot page. Okay, so around 10 pages are available. We'll discuss one by one in detail. Okay, in detail. Later again, I will come up with an in advanced performance tuning, sir, to show you the practical level. Okay, each and every mostly we'll dig into each page to show you practical in advanced performance tuning. Okay, so that at that time you will be good at all the concepts, so that you can understood easily what data is residing on each page. Okay, so database, actual your data is residing in the database, sir. Whatever you are inserting, updating, deleting, okay, whatever data, that will be residing in the database, that will be residing in the database. Okay, your database is nothing but where our data is storing. Okay, so whatever we are trying to perform, right, that data will be residing on the database. That is the first point. Next, let me discuss PFS, then we'll go for these two important pages. In interview question also, it is very important, sir. GAM page and SGAM, they will ask you what is the differences. Okay, let me first discuss the PFS, page free space. See, by default, every database will track how much free space of their page. See, that is what I told you, right? Header, page header will track how much free space is available. Every individual database you are tracking, sir, it is tracking that respective page will track the, see, your page number looks like this. This is how your page number looks like, 300, okay, 301, okay, 302. This is how your page number looks like. Okay, don't get confused. Individual page free space will be available in the page itself. Page header will store that respective page how much free space is available. Then what is PFS space, sir? What is PFS space? PFS space stores a, sorry, where is, okay, sorry, the page record all the allocation status of each page, means complete the data pages. So how many database pages are available for that respective object? Assume assume so I created one object, the employee table. For that employee table, thousand databases are created. Assume 1,000 database. Out of all 1,000 databases, how much free space is available, that will be tracked by the PFS. A PFS page will track the data pages free space info complete. Okay, so complete info will be stored in the PFS space. Your PFS space will track the database free space, complete database free space. But within the page also, in header, it will write the page how much free space is available, sir. But we have separate page PFS, which is also tracking complete database level free space available. Okay, getting my point, online people?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, see, the PFS has one byte of each page, recording whether the page is allocated or if so, if not allocated, okay, whether it is a empty. 1 to 50% means full, 51 to 80% is full, okay, 81 to percent full, and 90 to 100%. So we have one percentage, sir. So it will write like this: 0 into 00, 0 into 01, 0 into 002. So this is how it will return internally. So based on this, it will calculate how much free space is available. Okay, how much free space is available, that info will be available in the PFS space. Okay, it will collect the complete data pages available in the objects, and it will store that free space info in the PFS space. Okay, so next is GAM. global allocation map. Okay, SGAM. So please try to this very important interview question. What is the difference between GAM and SGAM? So definitely you will get one interview question. Okay, so GAM stands for Global Allocation Map. Okay, a GAM page records what extents has been allocated. Okay, so for example, a GAM page size is 4 GB, sir. One GAM page size is 4 GB. It contains 64,000 extents information. One GAM page size is 4 GB. Okay, and it contains 64,000 extents information. Okay, when you are trying to create a table, so for example, I am creating a table, sir. I am creating employee table. For this table, okay, for this table, SQL Server allocated 3 extents. Assume it created 3 extents. It used 3 extents. Okay, I'm creating the employee table. So out of 64,000, how many extents are allocated, sir? 3. So then rest how many extents are available? 63,997, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, this is how. So your GAM page. So when you are trying to create any object, it will connect to the GAM and it will take the extent. Okay, from the GAM. From the GAM, it will take the extent and it will start, okay, occupying that extents by whatever the objects you are creating, right? So this is how internally it will works. The GAM page records what extents has been allocated. Each GAM page covers 64,000 extents. Almost is 4 gig. Almost is 4 gig. Got you? So it is also having tracking, sir, a bit 1, bit 0. If it is a bit 1, the extent is free. If bit 0 means extent is allocated. Extent is allocated. So these 3 extents bit will be 0 because 3 extents are being allocated. For 63,997, the bit is 1 value because still it is not allocated. If you are again creating one more object, okay, so if it is occupying 5 extents, so now you can see 63,992. So from where the extents are allocating means GAM page. So when you are trying to create, when you are trying to insert or update or delete, so it will get the extents from the GAM page. It will get the extents from the GAM page and it will start inserting the data into that data pages. Everyone getting?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now that is the GAM, sir. Okay. So if it's 1 means the extent is free, 0 means it is allocated. Okay. A GAM page contain 4 GB, but let me show you one example. Okay. Who are already working, maybe they have one idea. So I am telling that GAM page size is 4 GB. Okay. I'm telling that GAM page size is 4 GB. Okay. But at a time the 4 GB is not allocated, sir. When you are starting inserting the data or creating the object, when you are updating the data, okay, so it's keep on growing and it will grow up to 64,000 extents and you are completely like a 4 gig of your GAM page. Once, sir, you will get one doubt, sir, if my GAM page is completely full, sir, my database size is 1.5 terabytes, 15 terabytes, 12 terabytes, right? After one GAM is completely full, sir, it will create one more GAM page. No worries. One GAM page is completely occupied means it will create one more GAM page, sir, for you. Okay, this is how it is expanding. Okay, if second GAM page is also allocated, then third GAM page will create based on your database sizes, sir. Okay. Okay, no worries. So this is Azure, sir. Okay, let me change to normal. Okay, see, if I create any databases, we'll discuss a lot in practical, sir. Okay, let me complete all theoretical part. So this is my database, assume. This is my database. So now when you see the database size is like 5.7, approximately 5 gig of your database. Okay, let me go for a small database. Why I need to go for huge databases? Okay, see, so my database size is 272 only as of now. Sorry, you are telling the single GAM page size. Where is, sorry, you are telling the single GAM page size is 4 GB. Then my database size is, okay, then my database size is only 272 MB megabytes. See, when you create any database, it will create the some, it will occupy some space. When you are inserting the data, when you are performing the operations, sir, it is keep on extending. Your GAM pages keep on growing. It will grow up to 4 GB. Okay, it will go up to 4 GB. Once your 4 GB is allocated, means once 64,000 is allocated, it will create one more GAM page for you. It won't extend than 64 GB, sir. 64,000 extends. One GAM page size is 64,000 extends. Once it is allocated, it will create one more GAM page for you. Got you? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Next,
So,
SGAM.
just
Sorry.
one question. When it creates new GAM page, it will outright create that 64,000 extents, or what is the minimum? Let's say usually when we insert, that space will be occupied, right? So what is the
So,
maximum space for?
Max, see, there is no concept like it is where even Microsoft is also not mentioned that it will create these many extents for initially.
Okay.
Microsoft is also telling that a GAM page will contain these many extents. Okay. See, let me tell you. If I'm creating the database, simple. Okay. So if I'm just creating a database, I am not performing anything changes. Okay. If I'm just creating the database, so whatever the space allocated, whatever the space you are allocating while you are creating the database, okay, based on your space, it may occupy, it may create. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So allocations are complete. Your allocations will be done from the GAM page, sir. Okay. So GAM and SGAM is both will store only extents information, sir. Complete. Your GAM page and SGAM will store complete the extents information. Apart from nothing, your database will contain the data. Your PFS page will contain the free space of all the data pages. Your GAM page and SGAM will contain the complete extents information. Okay. Now, what is SGAM? Okay, sir. You. I am telling that I created one table, Gazu, employee table. So I am telling that 3 extents has been allocated for this table. 3 extents is allocated. Now tell me whether all within the 3 extents. So extents means 8 continuous pages, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So this is my one extent, and this is my one more extent. This is one more extent. Okay. So assume 2 extents I'm drawing. Okay. Out of this one extent, okay. So 4 pages are filled with the data. 4 pages are still free. Only 4 pages you try to insert the data. Remaining 4 pages are free. Getting my point? Assume. Then where you are tracking, sir, whether the extent is completely occupied or having some free space. Okay, I'm tracking the database. I am the tracking the database on the PFS page. But what about the extent? What about the extents? Where you are tracking how much free space is available in each extent? GAM page. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
Sorry, SGAM, sir, SGAM. SGAM page records which extents are currently being used as a mixed extent and also having at least one unused pages. Okay, so unused pages, it will track the unused pages along with whether it is a mixed extent or a uniform extent. Okay, see, each SGAM is also covered 64,000, but the main theme is GAM, sir. Info. SGAM will store info, sir. It is not creating a extents again. When you are trying to create any object, it will get from the GAM only. When you are creating any object, it will get the extent from the GAM. But SGAM will also contains the 64,000 information. Okay, almost its SGAM size is also 4 gig. Almost your SGAM size is also 4 gig, because it need to collect all the info, right? Complete your whatever the GAM having the extents 64,000 extent, that complete info is also available in the SGAM, whether it is a mixed extent or uniform extent, whether if that extent is having any unused pages, it will track a complete that 64,000 information on the SGAM. Okay, got you? Online people, so silent everyone. Info, sir, information. Okay, you are getting the data from GAM only. Your extents allocation completely from GAM. Okay, SGAM will store the information about the complete that 64,000 information, whether it is a mixed extent or uniform extent. If that extents having completely occupied with the data or any free space is available, that will be info will be available in the SGAM. Got you? Manoj,
Yes,
Maruti,
yes.
Sharath.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah, yes.
Okay, the SGAM has one bit of each extent. Here also one bit interval, sir. If bit is one, the extent is being used as a mixed extent and has a free space. Okay, if the bit is one means the extent is being used and having one free space. No, one free space means only not one page, sir. Having a free space, having free space in that extent. Okay, if the bit is zero means that is not okay used as a mixed extent. Maybe it is used for a uniform extent. Maybe it is used for a uniform extent, or maybe completely that mixed extent is filled with the data, or completely it filled with the data. That info will be available in the SGAM. One means mixed extent and having some free space. Zero means maybe completely that extent is completely occupied with the data, or it is a uniform extent. Okay, that info will be available in the SGAM. Okay, so clear?
Only one doubt. This
Yes.
SCAM, it tracks only mixed extents, right?
Only mixed extent, but somehow somewhere it's also will track. See, that is what. See, if zero means that is not used as a mixed extent, means that is a uniform extent, right, sir? If it is not a mixed
Yes.
extent, means that is a uniform extent, right? So somehow you need to just make a note. That is why make a note. It also will track the uniform extent, but explicitly they are not mentioning anywhere. But somehow it will track the uniform extent as well. If when you zero means maybe it is a uniform extent, or maybe it is a mixed extent completely occupied with the data. You can think about. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Now, DCM pays are very important. As of now, I am not discussing a lot about the DCM pays. We'll discuss a lot in the backup session. Okay. So completely, when we are discussing on backup, we'll discuss a lot about the DCM pay, differential change in map. Okay. So what is the differential change in map means? So after full backup, when you perform after full backup, whatever the changes you are performing, whatever the changes you are performing, that changes completely tracked in the DCM page. That's it. After full backup, whatever the changes you are performing, like insert or update or delete over the objects, those changes will be stored in the DCM page, will be tracked in the DCM page. That is extents. Your extents information will be tracked in the DCM page. So we'll discuss a lot of DCM page in the backup, sir. Okay. What is the differential change in map? So mostly it will is also one important question when interviewer is asking. So what is the differential backup? So differential backups will captures only the extents that has been affected after full backup. After full backup, whatever the extents are affected, only that will be captured, your differential backup. So how the differential backup is capturing means the changes are affected, that changes will be stored in the DCM page. The extents information. Okay, after full backup, you have modified these three extents. So these three extents information will be logged in the DCM page. These three extents information will be logged in the DCM page. When you take the differential backup, it will directly scan the DCM page. When we perform the differential backup, it will scan the DCM page and it will collect the extents what are affected after full backup. It won't take complete your database backups. When you are going to take the differential backup, it won't take complete database backup. It will just take the extents affected after full backup. How means? Using DCM page. Okay, what do you? We'll discuss lots, sir, in a backup scenario. Okay, differential backup. Again, I will come up with the same page concept. We'll discuss, and so that you will be understand easily. First of all, you need to know what is the backups, how many types of backups are available. Okay, then we will good at differential change map as well. So clear, everyone? Can I move to next slide?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Now, BCM, bulk changed map. Okay. So this is also one important page when you are working with the recovery models. Recovery models, backups, restores are the main basements. Are as a DBA, the base concept is recovery models, backups, restore. On top of that, you can do anything. As a DBA, we mustn't should be strong at backups, restores, recovery models. So when we are discussing recovery models, okay, I will again come up with this page, that is BCM, bulk changed map. When my recovery model is bulk logged, when my recovery model is bulk logged, okay, and I am performing bulk operations, the whatever the extents are affected by the bulk log recovery model, bulk operation, that extents will be stored in the BCM page. Getting my point? As of now, it's very difficult, sir. When we are discussing the recovery models, okay. So again, I will come up with this page, BCM page. When your recovery model is bulk logged, you are performing bulk operations. So whatever the extents has been affected by the bulk operations, that extents will be stored in the BCM page. Got you? Online people? Online people, clear? Not clear? Okay. No worries, sir. DCM and BCM. Okay. Again, I will come up with these two pages when we are discussing the backup scenario, when we are discussing the recovery models. Recovery model. Topmost interview questions. Even you having 10 years, 20 years experience, so they will ask you recovery models, backups, and restores, because this is the base concepts. Okay, as a DBA, you must should know how to take the backups, what is the recovery model, how to restore it. Okay, because whatever you are performing later, that will be mostly depends on backups and restores only. When you are working with high availability, when you are working with a disaster recovery, we will work with the backups restores methodology only, almost. Okay, so I will again come up with the DCM page and BCM page in respect to future concept. One is a recovery model, one is a backup, sir. No need to worry as of now. Okay, next, IAM page, index allocation map. Okay, IAM page, index allocation map. IAM stores the information about the extents used by the table without a cluster index. That is nothing but a heap. When your table is a heap table, means without any index, if that table, we'll call it as a technical heap table, sir. If you create an employee table, okay, if you create an employee table, okay, while I'm creating the table, if I am not choosing any index, I am not creating any index on this table, means this table will treat as a index, sorry, heap. This table will treat as a heap table. So when your table is a heap table, so whatever the pages, are available on the respective object, all the pages information will be make entry in IAM page. Make entry in IAM page, sir. So when you opened, that is what I told you, right? I promise you. No worries. We'll dig into the page level. I will show you what is IAM page, what is data page, what is the PFS. Okay, forget about all this. But IAM page, data page, cluster pages. So very important. That will dig lot in advanced performance tuning. IAM page will track the page information when it is a heap table. Okay, so IAM page will track all the complete page information. Means IAM page will see, for example, you have one table, employee table. Okay, so IAM page is, assume IAM page is 1000. Okay, and you are creating the too many data pages, right? So 300, 301, okay, 302, all these pages will be make entry in IAM page. IAM page will contains all these entry pages records in the IAM page. Okay, IAM page will store the information about the pages. Technically they are telling extent, but it will completely store in the form of pages. So getting track. Okay, online people, clear?
Yes.
Okay, that is what hold for a while. Okay, when we are discussing page level internals, definitely you will understood. Again, I will come up all this one by one. Okay, in day one, it's very difficult to understood all this because these completely internal concepts are. So I cannot directly jump into the base concepts. Okay, so first we need to be strong at the internals. Again, I will come up with the same scenarios in respective concepts. When we are discussing indexes, I will come up with IAM. When we are discussing backups, I will come up with the DCM. When we are discussing recovery models, I will come up with the DCM page. Okay, we'll discuss a lot. Then you will definitely will understand. Clear? Not clear?
Clear, Super.
Okay. So text and image page, sir. We have one concept called file stream. Okay, we have one concept called file stream, sir. Uh, to store the blob, okay, binary objects. So if you wanted to store the images, see, when you go to the bank and you wanted to open an account, they will definitely ask you the identity proof, and they will ask you one photo, right? Yes or no? Online people, even when you are applying any online form also, you will try to insert the images, try to insert the photos, right? Where it is storing somewhere, right? It need to be stored somewhere, right? So when you are trying wanted to store the images or text related, so we have one concept in SQL servers are file stream. Okay, file stream. In that cases, so SQL server will store those images and text pages in the text and image pages. Text and image pages, so like a blob binary objects. When you wanted to store like images or text related documents, that is also you can store in SQL Server, sir. But to improve the performance, we have one new concept called file stream, sir. You need to manually enable the file stream. You need to create a separate database to store all the blob related, binary object related data in the text and image pages to improve the performance. To improve the performance, we'll create the file stream concept. Okay, and the last but not least, that is boot page. So yesterday we had a small discussion about the boot page, right? Boot page will contains the metadata information related to your database, a complete metadata information related to your database. Only the boot page will be available in the MDF. Okay, only it will be available in the MDF. It will contains the complete metadata related to your database. So how many data files are available, how much free space is available, complete whole your database information will be stored in the boot page. Okay, got you? So try to remember. Uh, Definitely you will get the questions. So what is the page? How many types of pages are available in SQL? So what is the difference between GAM and SGAM? Okay, definitely they will ask you these questions. Okay, what is extend? How many types of extends are available? Okay. Yes. Any questions in page architecture, extends, page types, storage architecture? Everyone good, sir? Sharat, Manoj, Yadav, Abhiram, Maruti.
Yes, sir.
I'm good.
Yes.
Okay. Now, very important concepts are all now whatever we are discussing. Okay, very important. All our interview point of view is very important. Uh, to be strong at internals. Okay, all these concepts are very important. Before directly jump into, let me just give allow me sometimes. Let me draw one picture. Okay, then we'll discuss a lot. Somewhere let me just hold. Let me one somewhere is to be. Yes. Sorry. Good. Okay. Let me make a picture. Meanwhile, you can ask any questions, sir, if you are okay. Any questions, sir? Meanwhile, Okay, so we are good. Okay, so everyone able to hear, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so for example, as I told you yesterday, we had a discussion, right, in access method. So access method, we can perform two types of operations, sir. One is DRL, one is non-DRL. Means the data retrieval. None is like insert or update or delete or create anything, sir. Okay, I'm taking two examples for you. Okay, one is select statement, one is a non-select statement. So like insert or update, it will applicable for everything, sir. Okay, I'm taking two example. Now, try to understood this logic, then you are very good at the internal concept, what is happening over the back end when you go to the SQL backend level. Okay, see. So for example, let me discuss first insert operation. Then we'll go to the select operation. Okay. Okay. So for example, I am trying to insert a record into the table. I am trying to insert a record into the table. See, we are not looking about the relational engine, sir. The relational engine, what it will do, it will try to parse the request and it will bind the request and it will prepare the execution plan and it will go to the storage engine, right? So this is completely the storage engine part, sir. We are discussing. Okay. So parsing, binding, everything will done in the relational engine and the plan, whatever the plan is created, that will be stored in the plan cache. That that will be stored in the plan cache, sir. Okay, whatever the plan is preparing by the optimizer, that plan will be stored in the plan cache. We'll discuss a lot about this plan cache in coming sessions. Okay, now try to focus a base concept internal what exactly is happening. So for example, I am trying to insert the data. I am trying to insert the data. So it will your executor will send a request to the access method. Your access method sends request to the buffer manager. In buffer manager we have the buffer pools. In buffer pool we have the caches like plan cache, data cache, right? So it will directly come to the data cache. It will come to the data cache and it will verify any pages are available to this respective object. Is there any pages is available in for this employee object in data cache, sir? Any pages are available currently in the data cache? Yes or no? Currently your data cache is completely free, right? So there is no pages. Assume completely it is free. So when it is trying to get insert operation in the data cache, currently there are no data is available. No pages are available in the data cache. What it will do exactly means it will get the data from the MDF and it will place one copy. So where actual data is residing, your actual data is in MDF or NDF, right, sir? So it will get the data from the MDF and it will place one copy in this. So assume this is my database. Okay, this is my database. Assume this has copied 3 pages. Assume this has copied 3 pages, okay, into the data cache. So first of all, these pages will call it as a clean page. The page which are available in buffer, but you not yet modified anything. We not yet modified, sir. Just it is copied from the MDF. It is just copied from MDF and it will place one copy in the data cache. those pages will call it as a clean page. Getting my point? Online people? See, we not yet started inserting the data. We not yet started inserting the data. To insert the data, we required pages. Where it is copied? It copied from the MDF and it will place one copy in the data cache. So, but still I not yet inserted the data, just it is copied. Okay, at that time the page will call it as a clean page. Once you start inserting the data, once SQL Server start inserting the data into the data pages, okay, so it started inserting the data into the data pages. So these pages will call it as a dirty page. See the difference, sir. What is a clean page? What is the dirty page? The page which are available in the data cache but not yet modified, those pages will call it as a clean page. The pages which is modified in the buffer, those pages will call it as a dirty page. Online people getting what is clean page, what is dirty page? Very important, sir. Try to understood simple logic. When you try to inserting the data, first it will go to the data cache and it will verify any pages are available for the respect to employee table. If no pages are available, it will directly go to the MDF and it will copy the pages and it will place in the data cache. So once it pastes in the data cache, immediately we'll tell it is a clean page. Once it start inserting the data, once it start updating the data, once it start deleting the data, then same pages we'll call it as a dirty pages. Okay.
Okay. So that means, so without any operation, that page is called as a clean pages. If you do any kind of operation, means this will be dirty pages, right?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes. So once you start, see, uh, you mustn't should strong at a scheduler point of view. That is also we'll discuss. That is what I told you, right? Just brief I'm telling. So when you are performing any insert or update or delete, so if no pages are available in the data cache, it will get it from the MDF and it will place one copy in MDF, sir. Every operation is performing in the buffer only. That is a point everyone need. You are not performing any changes on MDF. No, we are copying the data, we are performing the changes, then later we are moving the data. Okay,
Okay.
got. So clear what is the dirty page, what is the clean page?
Yes. So if any existing pages are there, if it
It
inserts
will
or
start insert.
updates
Yes,
into that,
it
is it also called as dirty page?
see, until unless you modified the page, we don't call it as a dirty page. Until unless you need to modify
Okay,
that
modified.
that that modified data still not yet moved to the MDF. Those pages will call it as a dirty pages. You
Okay,
perform insert, update, delete, that is already moved to the MDF, then that those pages again will call it as a clean page, because the changes you performed is reflected to the MDF.
okay.
Okay.
And when that will occur, like the
Next
changes. Okay.
we'll discuss, sir. Okay. Clear about the clean page and dirty page, everyone? See, the first SQL server tries to locate the pages in the buffer cache. So that is what, right, sir, I told you. First, whatever operations you are performing, that will try to first check in the data cache. Okay, buffer in the data cache. Okay, if does not find any pages, SQL server get that pages from the disk in the buffer cache. These pages known as a clean page. So same thing, right, sir, I explained. Yes or no? So same thing, right? First, whatever operation you are performing, first it will try to verify those object related pages are available in the data cache. If not, then it will get it from the disk and it will place in the data cache. Those pages will call it as a clean page. Once you start performing the changes, then immediately same pages will call it as a dirty pages. Clear? Not clear? Online people? Online people? Clear?
Yeah, clear, Subbu.
Yes, clear.
Okay. So let me go to the slide, sir. Okay. Okay. Let me expand it. Okay. SQL Server acquires a lock on the page and row level and performing any update to the records. Means uh, uh, when it start inserting the data or updating the data or deleting the data over the pages in the buffer, it will acquire the lock, sir. Okay. That lock technically we'll call it as a latch. A lock is something different, latch is something different. We'll discuss a lot on isolation levels. Okay, so we tricky concepts are it will take hardly 3 to 4 sessions, almost like a 8 to 10 hours to discuss like a lock, latches, spin locks, everything. We'll discuss a lot on that concept in coming sessions. Just as a basic info, when it starts inserting the data or updating the data or deleting the data in the data cache itself, even it will also acquire a lock. Okay, the modified page known as a dirty page. The modified page known as a dirty page. Okay, clear? Not clear? So everyone clear, right? Once you start modifying the data, so those pages will call it as a dirty page. If you are not yet started modifying the data, you just copied and moved into the data cache, those pages will call it as a clean page. Okay, so we have one DMV, sir, DM underscore OS underscore buffer underscore descriptors. Okay, so very interesting DMV. Okay, using this DMV, okay, dynamic management view, sir. Who are listening first time, no worries, separate session, everything separate session, sir. Okay, so we have one DMV, DM underscore OS underscore buffer underscore descriptor. Using that DMV, we can get how many dirty pages are available in the data cache currently. Got you? Online people? So
Yes.
we'll discuss, sir, when we are discussing the memory architecture. So memory architecture, again, I will come up with this DMV. Okay, with the practical, sir. So whatever I'm not showing you practical, no worries. In advanced performance tuning, we have all practicals. Okay, so I cannot show right away because there are lot many dependencies where you need to know before directly jump into these concepts. First of all, you need to know about the memory architecture. Okay, so then we can discuss what is DMOS buffer descriptors. We have lot many DMVs to know about the memory concept. DMOS memory, DMOS process memory, DMOS memory clerks, DMOS memory objects, DMOS memory nodes. Okay, lot many, sir. I cannot directly show on you all this. No worries. In memory architecture, again I will come up with this concept. I will show you how what is the clean page, what is dirty pages, how many dirty pages, how many clean pages are available. I wanted to check for Adventure Works 2014. Okay, so mostly not tomorrow, day after tomorrow we'll start the SQL installation, sir. After that, I will completely go for the practicals. Half of the timing will spend for theoretical, then we'll go for practical. Okay, sorry. To execute any command, okay, to execute any command, there is directly you can execute, sir. You need to open just new query window and you can type whatever command you are performing, and to execute you can click on execute button or click on F5 button, sir. In your keyboard shortcut is F5. See, for tempdb, so around 763 dirty pages are available. For msdb, around 68 dirty pages are available. Master database 18, SSIS DB 15, replication DB is 4. Correct? Okay. Let me do one thing, sir. Let me do one thing. Okay. Employee table is available. Good, good. Okay. No worries. I will explain all this in development session, sir. While one equal to one. insert into MP created with how many columns are available. Just hold on, sir. Otherwise, let me do one thing. Create table department. Okay. Department department ID integer. DPT name. Go to vac 20. We'll discuss all this, sir, in development session. Create table name, department. Okay. You can pass the request and you can execute it. Yes, my table is created now. While now you can go on run here. See how many dirty pages are available. Earlier it is 4 pages are available, right? Yes or no? Earlier 4 dirty pages are available in buffer data cache for replication DB, right? Now it is 18 pages. I just created only one table. Yes or no? Online people getting?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll discuss lots of this internals part. Okay, no worries. As of now, I wanted to show you, okay, how the dirty pages are keep on going in the data cache. See, whatever you are performing, sir, whatever you are performing, anything, so everything will done in the buffer first. Okay, everything will done in the buffer only. Later it will move to the MDF file. MDF is the destination, sir, where your actual data is residing, where your actual data is residing. Okay, got you? So let me give you some more example. Okay, let me while 1 equal to 1 infinity loop, sir. Insert into, sorry, insert into 1 comma QMS. Okay, so let me execute it. Okay, I'm executing one insert operation, sir. Now you can go on monitor. 42 dirty pages, 49 dirty pages, 57 dirty pages, 66 dirty pages, 71 dirty pages, 76 dirty pages, 101, 109. See, it's keep on growing. Yes or no? Hey, you are trying to insert the data, sir. Now I am trying to inserting the data into the pages, right? So where that will be performed in the data cache only, right? Online people. See, keep on growing. Once I stop this operation, you can go and stop this one. Okay. Now execute. Okay. So these many dirty pages are available in the data cache. So relational database replication DB contains 264 dirty pages in the data cache as of now. Got you? Everyone, online people, Manoj, Pradeep.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So that is what, sir, we'll discuss a lot again. Okay, I will come up with all this concept in the memory architecture. Okay, you should know all these concepts in memory. We'll discuss a lot, sir. Okay, now, so everyone good at the clean page and dirty page, right? What is the dirty page? What is the clean page, right? Any questions? Now, one of the interesting concept is wall, WAL, write ahead logging. So anyone knows what is wall? Anyone knows what is wall?
Yeah, yeah, it's a SQL Server feature. When update or anything update is happening in the logs, then it will first write in the logs before it move the dirty pages to the real data file.
Exactly, sir. Right, is the right answer. Okay, a wall. See, I am performing all the changes in data cache. I am telling that I am performing all the changes in data cache. Okay. So can I move directly the modified data directly to the MDF? No. No. You cannot move any data directly to the MDF. Every changes, whatever you are performing over the data cache, every changes must and should make entry in log file. Every changes, whatever you are performing changes, that need to make one entry in LDF to satisfy wall concept. To satisfy wall, right ahead logging. Every changes, whatever you are performing, that changes must and should be replicate to the LDF. You cannot directly move the data changes, modified data directly to the MDF. So that is why we are telling log data file. All change related information will be written in the log file. Okay, all your change related information will be written in log file, that is LDF. Okay, so whatever the changes you are performing, that changes will be reflected in the log file. Okay, see what is a wall. Let me go to back to the slides again. Okay, so once we make changes to the clean page in the buffer, it generates the log records, right? Records contains the details about the modification. SQL server writes these log records to the disk in the transaction log before the associated dirty pages is flushed to the disk, to the data file. Okay, every changes, so whatever the changes you are performing, those log records will move into the LDF. Those records will move into the LDF. Okay, sir, why sir I need to perform this? I can directly move to the MDF, right? See, so for example, assume uh, Murali is performing some insert operation. Suddenly, server is down. What will happen to that specific transaction? Currently, server is down. Completely, server is down. SQL is down. So your cache will completely erase, right? Yes or no? If server is
Yes.
rebooted, means your cache will erase, right? A temporary cache. All data which is available in the cache, it is for temporary, right? When you reboot the server, gone completely. Your cache will be erased. So whatever the changes you are performing, those logs, that records will be automatically moving to the log file before you flushing the entire the dirty page to the MDF. Okay, getting my point?
Yes.
Can
See,
you repeat
we have
it,
yes. See,
please?
everyone will have one doubt, sir. Sir, we are getting duplicate records, right? No worries, sir. No duplicate records will be entered into the database. Okay, so what Microsoft is doing, right? Microsoft is maintaining multiple copies to secure your data. But no worries, sir. Nowhere you are entering duplicate records into the MDO file. So before flushing the database into the MDO file, sir, whatever the changes you are performing, that will treat as a log records internally. That log records will write into the LDF. LDF. Then okay, it will keep in LDF. Then from LDF it will move data to the MDF. So how it will move, when it will move, that is what next slide we are discussing. Okay, so to satisfy all, so whatever the changes you are performing, that will make entry in the log file. To satisfy all, whatever the changes you are making, that changes will be logged in the LDF. Okay, see, one is to protect your data. One more point is, so for example, let me okay, Manoj is updating one record. Okay, after he started updating, he thought that okay, by mistakenly he is updating, so he will roll back the data. So the rollback means I don't want to update the rollback process, everything. It won't affect in MDF directly. So whatever the changes you are affecting, that will be affected in the log file and the data cache only. Later, once everything is done, then it will move data to the MDF. Okay, so rollback process, or if suddenly something happened to your server or SQL or your transaction, okay, that will be still affected in the data cache and the log file itself. You are not affecting anything over the primary data file. Got you, Pradeep?
Right. Right.
Okay, please be mute all. Okay, if you have no questions. Okay. Okay, so next one of the important concept is checkpoint. Yeah. So we'll discuss the checkpoint. Okay. So checkpoint is a internal mechanism, sir. So Microsoft introduced one concept called checkpoint. It is an internal mechanism. Okay. So whenever the checkpoint will rise, whenever checkpoints will triggers, okay, whenever checkpoint will triggers, it will flushes all the dirty pages. It will move the dirty pages which are available in the buffer cache, means data cache, okay, and log records which are available in the log file to the disk, nothing but MDF, to the MDF. See, don't get confused again, please try to remember. So whatever the dirty pages are available, that dirty pages and log records which are available in LDF, so both are same only, right? Both are same only, right? Whatever the changes you are having in dirty page, that treating it as a log records and is holding in the log file, right? Yes or no? Yes or no, online people? So that is what, right? Every change you see. So when internally, when checkpoint will triggers internally, okay, when checkpoint will triggers internally, so we can control the checkpoint, sir. Means you can tell to SQL server, hey, run the checkpoints every 2 seconds, every 10 seconds, every 1 minute, every 2 minutes, every 10 minutes, okay. But as per best practices, don't change the checkpoint interval time, okay, because it may affect the recovery time. Okay, so checkpoint process the writes all the dirty pages available in the buffer cache and transaction log records to the MDF. So it will flushes the dirty pages, okay, and it will flushes the log flush to the completely to the disk level disk. Okay, so log buffer to the log LDF and the dirty pages to the data file. So checkpoint will flushes the changes. So who will move the data, sir? That is what everyone having question, right? Your checkpoint will flushes the data. Checkpoint is internally, it is triggering, okay, internally triggers, it will move the data from the buffer to disk. Okay, it writes all the records from buffer cache to the LDF. It writes all the dirty pages, modified pages in the last checkpoint to the data file. Okay, got you? It also writes the checkpoint LSN to the database boot page. See, these many operations is performing by checkpoint. These many operations are performing by checkpoint. Checkpoint, whenever the checkpoint will runs, okay, the dirty pages will move to the disk, okay, and the log records move to the LDF. Log records will move to the LDF. Got you? Online people?
So it clean the memory at that time or
No. It
remain.
won't clean. No. A checkpoint won't clears the memory. Checkpoint just move the data. Move. Just it will move. It won't clears. The pages will be available still in the buffer. So whatever the dirty pages will move, right? Those dirty pages now it will become as a clean page because it is moved to the MDF, right, sir? Once it is moved to the MDF, those dirty pages again convert into the clean page. Okay.
Right.
It won't flushes. Checkpoint won't flush the pages in the buffer. It will just keep it handy. Okay. Who will flushes? That is what next we are going to discuss. We have one interesting concept called lazy writer. Lazy writer will flushes the pages over the disk, pages over the buffer. Sorry. We'll discuss lots, sir. Okay. Everyone clear about the checkpoint?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So we have different types of checkpoints. Okay. Automatic checkpoint, internal checkpoint, manual checkpoint, indirect checkpoint. Okay, before 2012, SQL Server 2012, we have three types of checkpoints, sir. One is automatic, internal, manual checkpoint. After 2012, Microsoft introduced one new concept called indirect checkpoint. Okay, indirect checkpoint. So before 2012 versions like 2000, 2005, 2008, 2008 R2, we have only three types of checkpoint: automatic, internal, manual checkpoint. Since 2012 onwards, Microsoft introduced one more checkpoint, that is indirect checkpoint. Okay, so we'll discuss one by one. What is automatic checkpoint? What is internal checkpoint? What is manual checkpoint? And what is indirect checkpoint today? Then we'll wind up the session. Okay, so what is automatic checkpoint? It is a completely background processor. You can change the interval time. So by running the below command sp underscore config recovery interval, you can mention the time. But please don't touch automatic checkpoint. Okay, it may impact the performance when you are performing the recovery. When you are performing the recovery, if something happened to your server or database, it will impact there, sir, because we won't touch the checkpoints. Interval time. See, it is a background process in SQL Server and default most common checkpoint. SQL Server continuously checking the number of log records, and once it is estimated that number of log records is sufficient to process in the time specified as per the recovery interval, okay, configure option, it issues the checkpoint command. It issues the checkpoint command. So when it will issue the checkpoint, so by default it is 0, sir. By default your recovery interval time is 0. Okay, so anywhere someone is telling like it will triggers every 2 seconds. When you go to the blocks, okay, it will triggers every 2 seconds, it will triggers every 60 seconds. Okay, you will get this info when you go to the blocks. But especially even Microsoft block also not specified how much when it will triggers, means why, how Microsoft is calculating. So how many changes you have performed last checkpoint to this current. After last checkpoint is triggered, right, sir? After the checkpoint is triggered, how many changes are you performed? Is the changes is sufficient to perform the checkpoint? Okay, then it will start triggering the checkpoint. So there is no specific time interval when checkpoint will triggers. You can change by default 0, sir. By default 0. If you can change, you can change to 2 seconds, you can change to 10 seconds, means every 2 seconds checkpoint will triggers, every 10 seconds checkpoint will triggers. But by default, when you go for the default option, you are not modifying. So what will happen internally? Internally, it is scanning how many changes you are performing. So if the changes are sufficient, okay, sufficient to perform the checkpoint, then checkpoint internal automatic checkpoint will triggers, and it will move the dirty pages to the disk and log records to the LDF. Got you? Online people?
Yes. So is there any dependency on the some processes or kind of activities
Yes, sir. Yes,
happening
yes.
at
Means, see, if you changing the recovery interval time, it may impact the recovery phase, sir. When you are recovering the database, if something goes to your database, checkpoint will improve the performance of recovery phase as well. That is one key factor why we will okay, stick with the default option for checkpoint, means it will impact the recovery time when you are restoring the database. If something happened to your database, it will improve the performance of recovery phase. Checkpoint in backend, sir. In backend, it will improve the recovery phase. Checkpoint will improve the recovery phase when specially going for restoring, sir. Okay.
okay.
Okay, I will show you how to change, sir. Okay, we'll discuss the theoretical part, then we'll go for practical part. Okay, internal checkpoint. Okay, internal checkpoints are like specific operations, sir. When you are performing specific operations like performing the backups, performing database snapshot. Okay, when you are recovery model in a simple recovery model. Okay, so in that cases, in specific time, SQL Server will perform the internal checkpoints. SQL Server will perform internal checkpoints. See, so for example, let me give you one example. So this is my database having 1.5 terabytes, 1.5 TB. Now tell me How much time it will take to take the backup of 1.5 terabytes, sir? How much time it will take to back up 1.5 terabytes database backup? Approximately 3 to 4 hours based on the network, right? Based on your network, it will take 2 to 3 hours or 2 to 4 hours. Yes or no? Your network bandwidth is good, it may take in less than 2 hours as well. Okay, but if network bandwidth is not good, it may take, okay, throughputs. That is what throughputs, your disk throughputs are how many mbps you can write into the disk, how many mbps you can read into the disk. Throughputs, that throughputs I can show you in Azure concept, sir, so that you will be also good at throughputs, sir. Nothing. See, when you are copying the data, very simple, sir. Throughputs is nothing but, so for example, I wanted to copy some data from C drive to D drive. How much time it is taking? That is how many mbps speed it is transferring the data. That technically you need to call it as a throughput, sir. Okay, so based on your throughput, your backups or your restores will improve the performance, right? Yes. So when you are performing certain operations like performing the backups, okay, performing the database snapshot when in mirroring concept, triggering the DBCC checkpoint, or whenever your database recovery model is simple, okay, so internal checkpoints is automatically triggered. Certain operations, internal checkpoint will triggers. Okay, clear? Not clear?
Yeah, clear, clear.
Okay, manual checkpoint is nothing, sir. You need to just type the checkpoint. Okay, so nothing. Manual checkpoint is nothing. Just you need to checkpoint. Sorry, checkpoint. Just you need to type the checkpoint. If you wanted to run, you can just run. That's it. That is manual checkpoint. If you wanted to manually trigger the checkpoint, you can go and type the checkpoint and run whatever on which database. Okay. See,
So,
when
okay.
yes, yes, someone yes.
So, during the checkpoint, it's what flushes the dirty pages to memory. So, if we run the manual checkpoint, will it make some,
So you can see
performance?
data very quickly. See, if you wanted to reflect the changes very quickly into the MDF, so that you can see the data, right, sir? In our laptop, we don't have any huge terabytes, gigabytes of data, right? So in when you go to the real world, when you have the huge databases, when user are trying to insert the data, it is not reflecting quickly into the MDF. Until it reflects to the MDF, you cannot see the data, right? Yes or no? So
Yeah,
if you want to
no.
see data very quickly, you can trigger the checkpoint manually, sir. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. But it
No,
won't process. Yeah.
my question is yes, it won't flushes. So, will it make some, space in memory when we apply manual checkpoint?
No, 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 no. Nothing. It will
Oh,
just move it. It won't do anything. Checkpoint.
okay.
That is a
Okay.
major difference between checkpoint and lazy writer, sir. When if you are attending to the Microsoft interviews, okay, you may face definitely this question: what is the difference between checkpoint and lazy writer? At least you need to spend some time for 10 to 15 minutes to explain all these differences. Because checkpoint is under our control, sir. We can control the checkpoint, but lazy writer we cannot control the lazy writer. Yes, can we control the lazy writer? No. Lazy writer is automatically it will invoke. There is no concept called controlling the lazy writer. Whenever RAM is getting full, it will invoke. We cannot control the lazy writer, but checkpoint we can control. We can control the checkpoint by changing the interval time, recovery interval time. Yes or no?
Yes, yes.
Okay. The last but not least is indirect checkpoint. Okay. Indirect checkpoint is introduced on 2012. Okay. Nothing, sir. If you wanted to run a checkpoint, see, by default, automatic checkpoint is triggering at instance level. Instance level, it is triggering, sir. But in case if someone is coming to you and asking, okay, if someone is coming to you and asking, just 1 second, sir. Okay, okay. Sorry. Okay, I got one severe case. Okay, that's it. Yeah, 1 second. Yes. See, indirect checkpoint. See, automatic checkpoint at the instance level, sir. It will triggering upon all the databases. Okay. So not only specific database, it will trigger for all the database. But in case if your application team is telling, hey, I don't want automatic checkpoint. I want my interval time for my database in a specific interval time. Database level, sir. So automatic checkpoint, manual checkpoint, okay, automatic checkpoint, internal checkpoint is an instance level, sir. Okay, but indirect checkpoint is a database level, sir. It is a database level. If I want to change a interval time for a specific database, I don't want to change for all databases which are part of this instance. See, in my instance, in my SQL server, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 databases are available. Okay, 6 databases are available. I want my interval time, specific time for my database. In that case, it is possible, sir. Before 2012, no, sir. We have no concept called indirect checkpoint, but from SQL Server 2012 onwards, it is possible. You can change the interval time for specific database that you need to go for indirect checkpoint. Sorry, indirect checkpoint. Okay, so clear. Automatic
Yeah.
checkpoint, indirect checkpoint, internal checkpoint, manual checkpoint. See, these many options are available when you go to the general, when you go to the memory, when you go to the process, when you go to the security, when you go to the connections. Okay, when you go to we'll discuss all this. Okay, see here we have recovery interval time. Okay, here we have the recovery interval time. So directly you can change from the graphical user interface as well. Okay, it is calculating by minutes. Okay, so if I change to 1, every 1 minute your checkpoint will triggers. So by default, if you go for 0, means when it estimate to run the checkpoint, it will trigger the checkpoint and it will move the data pages to the disk. Clear? Not clear?
Yes, yes, clear.
Any questions? Okay, let me.
Uh,
Yes.
just to brush up, as you already mentioned that in the internal checkpoint options, we can you know configure for a particular DB, right?
Yes,
So
that I will show
overall,
you. I will. Yeah, yeah. Sorry. Yes, yes. Continue.
so overall, uh, that means the data pages for that particular database will keep in memory, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
So that is what we'll discuss a lot in the memory, sir. When we are discussing on memory architecture, so I need to explain lot because you need to know about the memory architecture. Means we have 3 layers: pneumo configuration, clerks, objects. Okay, so how the memory is allocating to the your request. Objects, collection of combination of objects, go to the clerks, then clerks will allocate the memory to the respective query. So lot many parameters where we need to dig into in memory when we especially going for memory. CPU we have
Okay.
very less cost, but when memory is the toughest thing where you need to dig a lot to get the memory troubleshoot.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so this is the query, sir. I missed to run it. Okay, select name comma target recovery time in seconds for sys databases. So sys databases is a catalog, sir, which is available in master. See, that is what, no worries. We have after installation, I will explain all the objects available here, then we'll go into the concept level. Okay, hold for next 1 or 2 days, sir. Okay, that is what I'm request, my request, because first
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
need to
Sure.
know the
Sure.
internals before directly
Sure.
jump into theoretical. So 1 week I will spend in the internal concepts only. So this whole week we'll spend in the internal concepts. Next we'll go for theoretical. Sorry, we'll go for futures wise. Then everyone will get one idea. Okay. Okay. Let me run this one. So this is the catalog, sir. So by default it is 0. Okay. If you wanted to change, I can let me go and change it. Okay. Let me go and change it. Sorry. Okay. Now you can go and run. Okay. Now it is 120 seconds. See. Now I can change. Every 2 minutes, every 2 minutes, checkpoint will triggers for AdventureWorks 2014 database. Okay. So let me share you these two commands over the chat window. In coming days, I am providing some queries, okay, over the chat window. Please copy it and make it handy. Okay. So keep it somewhere. I will also share some links where you can go through it. You will get more content, sir. Okay. So
Okay, okay.
So tomorrow we are going to discuss some more interesting concept like lazy writer and eager writer as well. Why I include eager writer means okay. Let me pause the recording. Okay, I don't want.